You said you would kill it this morning. Do not kill it. It startles me still. The jut of that odd, dark head pacing through the uncut grass on the Elm's Hill. It is something to own a pheasant, or just to be visited at all. I'm not mystical. It isn't as if I thought it had a spirit. It is simply in its element. That gives it a kingliness, a right. The print of its big foot last winter, the trail track, on the snow in our court, the wonder of it. In that pallor through the crosshatch of sparrow and starling. Is it its rareness, then? It is rare. But a dozen would be worth having. 100 on that hill. Red, green, crossing and recrossing, a fine thing. It is such a good shape, so vivid, as a little cornucopia. It unclaps, brown as a leaf, and loud, settles in the elm, and is easy. It was sunning in the narcissi. I trespassed stupidly. Let be. Let be. The time will come when, with elation, you will greet yourself arriving at your own door, in your own mirror, and each will smile at the other's welcome and say, "Sit here, eat." You will love again the stranger who was yourself. Give wine, give bread, give back your heart to itself, to the stranger who has loved you all your life, whom you ignored for another, who knows you by heart. Take down the love letters from the bookshelf, the photographs, the desperate notes. Peel your own image from the mirror. Sit. Feast on your life. In your next letter, I wish you'd say where you are going and what you are doing. How are the plays, and after the plays, what other pleasures you're pursuing? Taking cabs in the middle of the night? Driving as if to save your soul? Where the road goes round and round the park, and the meter glares like a mortal owl. And the trees look so queer and green, standing alone in the big black caves. And suddenly you're in a different place where everything seems to happen in waves. And most of the jokes you just can't catch, like dirty words rubbed off a slate. And the songs are loud, but somehow dim, and it gets so terribly late. And coming out of the brownstone house to the grey sidewalk, the watered street, one side of the buildings rises with the sun like a glistening field of wheat. Wheat, not oats, dear. I'm afraid if it's wheat, it's none of your sowing. Nevertheless, I'd like to know what you are doing and where you're going. This being human is a guest house. Every morning, a new arrival. A joy, a depression, a meanness, some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all. Even if they are a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house empty of its furniture, still treat each guest honourably. He may be clearing you out for some new delight. the dark thought, the shame, the malice. Meet them at the door, laughing, and invite them in. Be grateful for whoever comes, because each has been sent as a guide from beyond. Nobody heard him, the dead man, but still he lay moaning. I was much further out than you thought, and not waving, but drowning. Poor chap. He always loved larking, and now he's dead. It must have been too cold for him, for his heart gave way, they said. Oh, no, no, no. It was too cold always. Still, the dead one lay moaning. I was much too far out all my life, and not waving, but drowning. A word is dead when it is said, some say. I say it just begins to live that day. In the Night by Stevie Smith. I longed for companionship rather, but my companions I always wished farther. And now, in the desolate night, I think only of the people I should like to bite. Song by Christina Rossetti. Song by Christina Rossetti. When I am dead, my dearest, sing no sad songs for me. Plant thou no roses at my head, nor shady cypress tree. Be the green grass above me, with showers and dewdrops wet. And if thou wilt, remember, and if thou wilt, forget. I shall not see the shadows, I shall not feel the rain, I shall not hear the nightingale sing on as if in pain. And dreaming through the twilight that doth not rise nor set, haply I may remember, and haply may forget. I've eaten the plums that were in the icebox that you were probably saving for breakfast to give me. They were so delicious, so sweet, so cold. February the 14th. Valentine by Wendy Cope.
Today is Valentine's Day, the feast day honouring the patron saint of love and marriage, and also, strangely, beekeeping. Couples send cards to each other, go out for dinner together, buy flowers and chocolates, and, of course, write poems.
My heart has made its mind up, and I'm afraid it's you. Whatever you've got lined up, my heart has made its mind up, and if you can't be signed up this year, next year will do. My heart has made its mind up, and I'm afraid it's you. A single flower he sent me since we met. All tenderly his messenger he chose, deep-hearted, pure, with scented dew, still wet. One perfect rose. I knew the language of the floweret. My fragile leaves, it said, his heart enclose. Love long has taken for his amulet one perfect rose. Why is it no one has ever sent me yet one perfect limousine, do you suppose? I know, it is just my luck to get one perfect rose. Walkies by Mary Oliver. You do not have to be good. You do not have to walk on your knees for 100 miles through the desert, repenting. You only have to let the soft animal of your body love what it loves. Tell me about despair, yours, and I'll tell you mine. Meanwhile, the world goes on. Meanwhile, the sun and the clear pebbles of the rain are moving across the landscapes, over the prairies and the deep trees, the mountains and the rivers. Meanwhile, the wild geese, high in the clean blue air, are heading home again. Whoever you are, no matter how lonely, the world offers itself to your imagination, calls to you like the wild geese, harsh and exciting, over and over, announcing your place in the family of things. Better? When I'm an old woman, I shall wear purple, with a red hat which doesn't go and doesn't suit me. And I shall spend my pension on brandy and summer gloves and satin sandals and say we've no money for butter. I shall sit down on the pavement when I'm tired and gobble up samples in shops and press alarm bells and run my stick along the public railings and make up for the sobriety of my youth. I shall go out in my slippers in the rain and pick flowers in other people's gardens and learn to spit. You can wear terrible shirts and grow more fat and eat 3 pounds of sausages at a go, or only bread and pickle for a week, and hoard pens and pencils and beer mats and things in boxes. But now we must have clothes that keep us dry and pay our rent and not swear in the street and set a good example for the children. We must have friends to dinner and read the papers. But maybe I ought to practice a little now, so people who know me aren't too shocked and surprised when suddenly I'm old and start to wear purple. And this is by A. A. Milne, The End. When I was 1, I had just begun, and when I was 2, I was nearly new, and when I was 3, I was hardly me. When I was 4, I was not much more. When I was 5, I was just alive. But now I am 6. I'm as clever. So I think I'll be 6 now, forever and ever. When I'm sad and weary, when I think all hope is gone, when I walk along high hoping, I think of you with nothing on.
The Mistake by James Fenton. With the mistake, your life goes in reverse. Now you can see exactly what you did wrong yesterday and wrong the day before. And each mistake leads back to something worse. And every nuance of your hypocrisy toward yourself and every excuse stands solidly on the perspective lines. And there is perfect visibility. What an enlightenment! The colonnade rolls past on either side. You needn't move. The statues of your errors brush your sleeve. You watch the tale turn back, and you're dismayed. And this dismay at this big mistake is made worse by the sight of all those who knew all along where these mistakes would lead, those frozen friends who watched the crisis break. Why didn't they say? Oh, but they did, indeed. Said with a murmur when the time was wrong, or by a mild refusal to assent, or told you plainly, but you would not heed. Yes, you can hear them now. It hurts. It's worse than any sneer from any enemy. Take this dismay. Lay claim to this mistake. Look straight along the lines of this reverse. This is by the great Maya Angelou. Pretty women wonder where my secret lies. I'm not cute or built to suit a fashion model size. But when I start to tell them, they think I'm telling lies. I say it's in the reach of my arms, the span of my hips, the stride of my steps, the curl of my lips. I'm a woman, phenomenally. Phenomenal woman, that's me. I walk into a room just as cool as you please, and to a man the fellows stand or fall down on their knees. And then they swarm around me, a hive of honeybees. I say, it's the fire in my eyes, and the flash of my teeth, and the swing in my waist, and the joy in my feet. I'm a woman, phenomenally. Phenomenal woman, that's me. Men themselves have wondered what they see in me. They try so much, but they can't touch my inner mystery. When I try to show them, they say they still can't see. I say it's in the arch of my back, the sun of my smile, the ride of my breasts, the grace of my style. I'm a woman, phenomenally. Phenomenal woman, that's me. Now you understand just why my head's not bowed. I don't shout or jump about or have to talk real loud. When you see me passing, it ought to make you proud. I say, it's in the click of my heels, the bend of my hair, the palm of my hand, and the need for my care. 'Cause I'm a woman, phenomenally. Phenomenal woman, that's me. Love After Love by Derek Walcott. The time will come when, with elation, you will greet yourself, arriving at your own door, in your own mirror, and each will smile at the other's welcome and say, sit here, eat. You will love again the stranger who was yourself. Give wine, give bread, give back your heart to itself, to the stranger who has loved you all your life, whom you ignored for another, who knows you by heart. Take down the love letters from the bookshelf, the photographs, the desperate notes. Peel your own image from the mirror. Sit, feast on your life.